I think, you know, for so long, many of us growing up had read George Orwell's 1984. And did we ever think we'd get to 1984? Because I think he wrote that in the 1940s, if I'm not wrong. And so Christopher had decided, it was 1984, and that we would do a production, an all-day production of 1984. And I have certain distinct memories of it, and one of them is that all of the businesses in Niagara-on-the-Lake put brown paper over their windows on the inside, so that all of the windows were covered in brown paper. And I think at about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, there were like 5 planes that flew very down low, flew all the way along the main street and out of town. It might have been, I don't know whether they would have been Army planes or whatever they were, but it was just quite spectacular to see this. And then in Simcoe Park, and I remember that my kids were then at university and were also working at the theater. My son was a stage manager and my daughter was a wardrobe mistress at the courthouse. And they were involved in this as well. So we were all involved, and we had spent many days dyeing, I don't know how many sets of Tyvek coveralls. Everyone who bought a ticket to 1984 and participated in it was given this pair of overalls just to make everybody dress the same. And there were different venues. There was something at the courthouse. There was something at the Royal George. There was this great rally in Simcoe Park in the bandshell. And then at the theater, they were doing something with computers and video machines and things like that. And it was just a day. And then I remember we had T-shirts printed with Dear Murray Morrison, who it was almost a sort of a printout like the one that in the First World War, the Boer War, had Lord Kitchener wants you, you know, that army poster that was everywhere during that time. And we sold black T-shirts with Murray Morrison's face and Big Brother, I think, is watching you, or something like that. I think my kids still have one of them. But I think we had something like 500 T-shirts printed. And I remember my friend Liz Covey, a costume designer from New York, who came up for it. And we were all selling T-shirts on the main street for like $5 or whatever it was. And then the whole thing culminated back in the theater with a video that had been made about the end of the book or whatever. I can't remember precisely, as that's now almost 30 years ago. But it was quite a spectacular day, and the whole day was filled with it. So it's just another incredible memory from my years at the Shaw Festival.